My name is Earl Kunanen, and I am one of the owners of Boba Chef here in Virginia Beach.
What gave you the idea to create a bubble tea store in Virginia Beach?
In January, I was working at a local company, and on my lunch break, I had visited one of the bubble tea shops here, and it was where I would go to get my bubble tea, and every now and then I'd get a drink, it's good, but then sometimes it wasn't. And I remember sitting in the car, and I said to myself, if I could make a bubble tea drink better than this, I'm going to open up my own bubble tea shop. And I didn't know if I was serious or not at the time, but I did say it. And that sort of got me onto ordering some products from online, experimenting with some drinks, and giving it to my family, friends, and letting them taste it. It turned out okay, and one thing led to another. I came up with some more drinks, and it just so happens that I was able to come up with some signature drinks. I thought, I'll try chocolate hazelnut today, and I'll experiment, or chocolate mint black milk tea. I think that'll work. And so I get a few things and experiment. Then I also get some feedback from our customers. Why don't you try this? Try that, How about ube? And we have ube now, it's iced ube. But a lot of our drinks in-house and also from feedback from customers. So one of our drinks, in fact, is actually almost 20 years old, that I've been making for my mom. So it sparked an interest into diving into this more when that happened. It worked out. Now we have a pretty good menu.
Why this particular location? Why right here?
Well, there are a number of things that I had to consider when opening. Location. You've heard that, right? So I saw that the restaurant was open. Spot doesn't have a built-in kitchen, but it'd be great for bubble tea. Because it's a Chinese restaurant. Bubble tea originated in Taiwan. It only makes sense. They're opening, and this place is vacant. So I looked into it. The rent wasn't too bad, and I knew that if this was a good restaurant, people are going to flock to this restaurant and come here afterwards. We're right off of Holland, so when people drive by, they can see the sign. It wasn't like that when we first got it, because the leaves were still on the trees. But now people can see the sign, and people have been driving by, so we got that.
I'm pretty sure you're aware of the other stores around.
I am aware of them. Is it okay to mention them?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so there's KFT, there's Jelly Ball, Yum Yum, or Boba Bola, and Ninja Tea. We do have those. I knew of them, which is why I had to watch the sweetness, the flavor, the presentation, the place. All these things had to come together. So when they come through this door, they forget the competition. Doesn't look like them, doesn't taste like them, from the flavor of our drinks. When I say it's pina colada, it's pina colada. Coconut, it's coconut. Or mango, or we use real mango, real strawberries. And then the boba. Our name is Boba Chef. We better have good boba if we claim to be a Boba Chef, right? Well, that stems from my background. I'll answer that. What made me open bubble tea? So my background is back before living here in Virginia. My wife and I, we used to live in Canada, and I helped a friend of mine open a biodiesel company, and that's where you take waste vegetable oil and turn it into high-grade fuel, biodiesel. The process is you have to boil it, you have to watch time, temperature, pressure, proportion, all these things are combined to make high-grade fuel. So making the jump over to making teas, brewing teas, that was easy. Yes, but making awesome tea, and it's not bitter, that's what I like to do. From New Orleans, so I like to boil crawfish. Boiling crawfish, hey, I can boil boba. I don't think I even hesitated. Can we do this or not? Well, let's just do it and find out. So that's where we are today.
This is more of like a family-owned.
Yes. So it is family-owned. In fact, my wife's dad owns his own restaurant in New Orleans, and so yeah, I guess it's in us to make stuff, and I like making drinks that make people happy, smile. I mean, they'll sometimes like, ooh, this is really good, you know. And every once in a while, I get somebody who's okay, maybe I should work on that, you know. And that's how we tweak our drinks. And one of the advantages that we have, you know, one of your questions was what separates us from these other bubble tea companies. Well, one of the major ones is a chain, a franchise. Well, they can't change. They're only as good as they can be. That's it, you know. We, on the other hand, can always improve our drinks, and which is what we do. If I think it needs a little bit of this, a little bit of that, we'll adjust. And a lot of that's feedback from our customers, and that's where all of our drinks kind of changed over the past 6 months.
So I guess it's just saying you want to stay more like in the family, more local, so I guess you're not planning to
Okay, so
expand or
the franchising, yes, that you did bring that up. Franchising was considered, but I think for now, because we're so new and we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. We know how to make boba, but is it the best boba? Is our methods the best method? We're still experimenting with all sorts of things, and we were going to grow. I mean, some bubble tea shops, they have hype behind them. You know, they market real well, they open up, a lot of people come in, and then it dies down. But for us, we opened up and it was trickling in, you know, people found out, then we started to see more and more, and we're seeing that even now. It's like a good stock, I like to say. Higher highs, higher lows,
yeah.
as we go. Well, another thing is we were able to tweak our recipes. We weren't flooded with customers. I wasn't, not that as a bad thing, but I wasn't flooded to the point I can't tweak the recipe.
Time to fix
I
it.
have time to not only fix, but experiment.
Yeah.
On our downtime, which had a lot of, I was able to come up with different drinks.
To add to the menu.
Yes, and exactly why it grew. When we first opened, we didn't even have that. We had a quarter of that's up there now. So, yeah.
I mean, the first time I came here, I did notice a sign from the road, and I was like, wait, bubble tea shop? What?
That is exactly why I had the sign up first. I signed the lease. The first thing I did was to call the sign company, get that sign up as quickly as possible. It certainly is a journey, and I get to meet people like you guys, and thanks for having me. I'm glad you.
Do this.
That's awesome. All right. Well, that's a wrap.
Thank you.